Gentlemen, this is Greg, and I'm here with you today. So pretty much, hopefully the connection works out great. It looks like it's kind of choppy. Let's see if I can get this better. Um, Connection seems slow for some reason. Oh, it's frozen. It's frozen. Okay. Wait, no, it's still frozen. Okay, well, I'm gonna unplug it for a second. Maybe it might be just need to be unplugged. Hope it catches up. Maybe there's bandwidth. All right, so um, anyway, so that's pretty much what's gonna happen. I wanted to just kind of say a couple things. Yesterday, I was able to do a quick video, and a quick video I was working on this dinosaur. So I didn't do any more additions to it. What I did was in 9 minutes, listening to music, I was able to put this dinosaur together through masking tape. So I sat there, and on screen I was able to put this together. For some reason, it seems kind of choppy. I'm not sure what's going on with the bandwidth. Maybe it's not enough space or something. Oh, it's starting to catch up. Okay. No, it's still slow. Okay, I might have to like just pause this for something and see if I can figure this out. But for the most part, though, I just wanted to show you this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to continue working on this one. I'm going to make something else new, and I'm going to have two things that I'm going to be working on, and I'll be able to talk with you about what's whatever's on your mind. So, going to have the chat open so people can actually see, and I can actually see all the live chats. All messages are visible. So there you go. So it's still kind of buffering slowly. So I don't know. It's just like there's like a delay to it. So anyway, so what happens is this. Here we go. This one, this is I was making an Allosaurus, and Allosaurus is the cool S neck and everything like that. S shaped neck. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add more to this, and I'm gonna put some music in the background. The music we're listening to is Virtual on Cyber Troopers. But also, I wanted to say something too. Here I have the shirt on, and the shirt is called from Camp Constitution. I wanted to do a quick shout out to Camp Constitution, and they're not my sponsor on this, but I just wanted to say a couple things like Camp Constitution, and that they're going to be having a session this summer where you can attend to it. This is Camp Constitution. You're cordially invited to attend Camp Constitution. This in New Hampshire, and it's a family camp. And so pretty much it's from Sunday, July 16th to Friday, July 21st. It's in Singing Hill Camp. And here's the location, and here's the address we can go to. We've gone to this camp the last 3 years, and it has been really good for us. We got a chance to actually have a good time with it, and we got a chance to spend time. This is a brochure from the camp, and I just want to kind of give you a shout out to that we are, we went to this. It was a great opportunity to learn about the history of the Constitution, as well as history about our country, and to learn about different things, as well as have fun and spend time with the family. And the food is really great, let me tell you. This is they're not sponsoring me for this. I just want to give a shout out real quick to it. There's pretty much you can find out more about it. There's a Mr. Charles Everett, and so pretty much you can find his information. I'll put the link here, and I'll show you the front of it again. This is the location where it is. It's Camp Constitution, and so I have a shirt. We went there 3 years, 2 years in a row. We went there in 2020. Wait, 3 years, yeah. 3 years, yeah. 2020, 2021, and 2022 last year. So this is 2023 this year, and so this is going to be the fourth year that hopefully we'll be able to attend. And so I just wanted to give you that look where you can see that for yourself as well. So that's Camp Constitution. Again, I'll just kind of show it to you again so you can see that. Hold it for like a couple seconds so you can write it down. All right, Camp Constitution. You can always pause right here. And it's pretty cool. It's a very cool thing. Here's on the back, you have a picture of all of us going there. You can actually see a picture of my son, and also we're here in the group here, all of us in the group, and it's really cool. They do Camp Constitution reenactment of it's actually very fun. I hope you get a chance to actually see it because it's really a cool thing. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the video. And what we're going to do today, we're going to go ahead and finish up the details on this Allosaurus, and we're going to listen to the music, the Virtual on Cyber Troopers, and that's going to be pretty much here right there. So it's going to be down in the back. So this is Cyber Troopers from Sega, and this is a game I used to play. I found the CD once upon a time, and I installed it on my computer, and I totally loved it. There's Virtual on Part 2 and others since then, but the most part though, it's 25 minutes of music, so that'll be kind of cool background music that's I don't think it's copyright, so hopefully it'll be, one of those things I can just play in the background, and it's all the sounds of the robots and stuff fighting. So I'm going to continue to work on this right here. Right, just get my camera here. A little brighter. Be cool. So here it goes. All right. So if you guys want to ask me any questions, that'd be cool. I could answer any questions you might have. Yesterday I got my first super chat ever, and I was really happy about that. The first time ever with a super chat. So just want to encourage anybody else who's willing to and want to give a super chat. They can do that, but as for the most part though, I'm just going to go ahead and sculpt this dinosaur. What we're going to do with this, I'm going to go ahead and give it some feet. I have classes I do that actually teach how to do this, and so you can actually learn how to do this too. So pretty much, just want to say that that's pretty much a cool thing, you know, that we can actually do these things to be able to make creatures out of tape. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and make the hands real quick. Then I'm going to make the feet. Make the hands and make the feet. It's like a flurry, right? But this is pretty cool because what happens is like you're just kind of making stuff. And you know, I had a chance to teach the classes in May and in December, and it was great. I just completely enjoyed the whole process of teaching, to teach people, because one of the things about it is like in life is that if you want something, you have to train other people how to do it. So if you, for example, you are able to do something and you want to learn it really well, you have to teach other people. I've learned that from like just life in general, because what ends up happening is, you know, you have to learn it twice. You learn it first time for yourself, you have to learn it a second time to be able to. So when you can learn it, when I first started doing this, I didn't teach people how to do this, but it was like it came later to teach people. But when I first started doing this, I was making things for my coworkers at work, you know. I was asking them and says, give me an idea, and I could make anything in masking tape, you know. And so here you got the hands, right? Got the hands here. And so I told them that, you know what, I could make anything. So they gave me all kind of challenges. So they gave me all kind of creature challenges to make. The hardest thing I ever had to make, I think, was the Gundam Barbatos. That was pretty difficult because what ended up happening was that because when you have to make a robot is different than having to make an actual organic shape. Organic shapes are easy because it's like the masking tape conforms. The masking tape is like, it's like paper. It's like the whole thing is kind of like an origami, you know. It's like an origami type thing. You're using origami to make structures, and the structures are so cool because when you do that, you can actually make anything. See, and the thing is, I got to the point where I didn't have to look anymore when it comes to making stuff. Hope that's not too loud. Let me lower the volume just a little bit. Lower the volume just a little bit. Make sure it's not too loud. I don't want it to overshadow what I'm doing here. So for the most part, though, you have it like what was I saying? Yeah, have to make stuff. Or yeah, to make a robot is difficult because what happens is robots are not organic shapes. So and I was saying before, this is like paper mache, and this paper mache you can actually make. Well, not paper. It's not paper mache. It's actually like origami, and origami is one of those things where you can actually just, you know, make anything. But the problem with origami is that it's delicate. You know, once you make it, it's like it's paper thin. It's very lightweight, and it's really, you know, it's really kind of beautiful and stuff, but you can't really make it stand up on the corner or something like that. These things I have in my car, okay? These things, we did a field test. Remember we did the field test? If you look through my Instagram, I did a field test of one. I call it a Super Dodge. My car, I have, my family and I, we went to Florida last year. And in Florida, what we did was that we actually, we took one of these tape things, we made a tape creature, and we tied it to our antenna, and we had it hang on our antenna from Florida. We went from all the way from like Pensacola, Florida, all the way back up to New York. And that's like a 1,100-mile trip. And so what's cool about it is that we were able to do this, and the tape held on. The tape didn't get destroyed. And so I said, out of like, just wanting to do something really cool, I thought, let me just go ahead and make this thing where it's like make this thing where it's into something like a little character. That way the character can actually be, you know, upheld and be taken care of, and then he can actually be there as a reminder to this car that this masking tape has been field tested with the elements, you know. So you have the hands, right? You have the hands. We're gonna make the feet now. So that was the hands now for the feet. And so incidentally, what happens is this what I like to do with this artwork is that you're able to take it and make all kind of things with it. You know, like I said before. But when you make something, it lasts. It really does last. As long as you don't like mash it up, I guess. But it still lasts for like a super long time, because it's like what happens is that you're making something that has it's like a liquid. You know, it's like a liquid. It gets solidified, and when you put like different mediums to it, it gets better. So it's like, for example, like here am I making, right here he has no feet, and then here he has 2 toes already. I'm about to make the 3rd toe. So with that, if you understand how to fold the tape and you understand the structure, how it's done, you can make anything, you know? You can make anything. All you have to do is just try. And sometimes the hardest thing is just getting started, because, you know, you have to kind of believe in yourself to be able to do it. But for the most part, though, if you don't give it a try, then you'll never know. So that's one. The other thing, too, it's like, you know, with all these cool artwork, it's like, you know, it's the fact that it's lightweight, weight and durable. That it's not like ceramic. Now, let's talk about something else for a little bit. Let's see. For example, I enjoyed making masking tape stuff, and I do, and it has been a really good thing for my family. It's been one of the things my family together we have done this, and so when we work on it together, we're able to make my daughter and my son, and my daughter and my other son. I have my two boys and two girls, right? So all my kids and my wife, we can all make stuff. You know, we're all able to make creatures. And because of that, it's kind of it's really cool family business because, uniquely, when we make something, we're making it. It's not like imported. It's not made mass produced. It's something that we have to sit there and actually fold and make ourselves. So when we fold and we make it, it's one of those things where, it's uniquely us. So it comes from our heart, from our soul. So here you got the 4 legs on this one here too. So far we're at 10 minutes and into the song, we're up to track 8 on the song of the Virtual Offers by Sega. And so here's this one here. So this. So making toes just right. Right there. Okay, so cool. So next, we're gonna give some more details to the face once I finish up the things. I know I never do. There's on the dinosaur foot, right? There's an aspect where there's an extra claw. Now I don't make the claw so often, so I don't even know which side of the feet is on. Honestly, it's like I know people draw the claw that there's like a chicken has an extra leg kind of thing, but I don't think dinosaurs are birds. I don't. I'm sorry. Some people will go to the wall and be shot. Just trying to defend that, but I'm like I don't think dinosaurs are birds. I think God made dinosaurs on the 6th day. On the 6th day of creation, the same day He made us, because the dinosaurs are specifically land dwelling. So here you have this one here. So this is a Allosaurus. Now I'm going to add some more meat to the neck and some more length to the tail. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. So what happens is this, right? Dinosaurs are so cool. It's like I remember when I first time I saw a dinosaur, it was a Museum of Natural History, and it was the Allosaurus I saw. It was the Allosaurus actually I saw, and it was like such a cool dinosaur because it's so meaty and stuff. The head was like an axe, like an axe head. And I was like, man, it's so cool. And then then we saw the Rex, and the Rex is so much bigger, and everybody loves the Rex and all that stuff. But I mean, I like the Allosaurus. I thought Allosaurus is cool. Then I saw this thing on TV called Big Al, and how Big Al got his foot broken and all that stuff, and how he died. He was in pain. He had a messed up foot, and I was like, you know what, that poor dinosaur. Anyway, so for the most part, though, it's like one of those things where I'm just like, okay, I always like the Allosaurus because it's a lizard that doesn't get the credit or the respect that everybody else has, when it comes to the T-Rex and stuff. But for the most part, though, here it is. I'm making an Allosaurus for those who just attended. Thank you so much for joining. This is Allosaurus, and I'm going to just make the head a little bit better. All right, so just kind of make it more Allosauridae. So anyway, for the most part, though, thank you so much for just joining with me. I'm just kind of in the process of finishing up from yesterday. Yesterday I was working on a dinosaur, and I did it in 9 minutes, and so I just added some more details to this one, the same one from yesterday. So here it got the feet and the neck and all that. So I'm just gonna add more details to it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and write me any questions about anything. I'm willing to I want to be able to answer or answer some of your questions if you have any. Because right now I'm just kind of listening to music and I'm finishing this up. So feel free to ask me any questions, and I'll try my best to answer. So the music in the background is from Virtualon Cyber Troopers. It's a Sega video game, and so it's like a soundtrack. So the Allosaurus has a crest on above his eyebrows. So it's gonna go ahead and just kind of finish this up real quick. Let me see if you're there. Allosaurus has a crest over his eyebrows. In the background, my daughter, she's working on a painting, and so she's actually making a painting right now. So it's really cool. But she's over there, so she's making a cool painting. I gotta utilize the green screen is what I gotta do. I gotta turn this green screen into something because in the background you have it where you're just gonna be able to I have this green screen. I could make something just pop up in the back, and so I should really, but I haven't yet. So. Let's give it some more meat on his legs, okay? Makes the legs more meaty, because it has to be able to stand on his legs. So let's go do that. So this is going to be a short video. I'm going to have it for, it's going to be done in about 25 minutes or maybe 30 minutes at the most. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, after I have to go drive. So I'm going to go drive some DoorDash and tell you some DoorDash stories later. So, yes. Right here, some meat, some potatoes. See, there's a way I do the masking tape, by the way. I put the tape inside, so it's not sticky. It's like, this is not sticky at all. This doesn't stick to your hands, you know? But what happens is, like, there's people, when they do it, they put the tape on the outside. So they reverse it. That way it's like, oh, I will give a shout out to Marcos Makes on his channel, Marcos Makes channel. Yeah, he doesn't support me, he's not a sponsor or anything anyway, but pretty much I learned how to make a masking tape creature watching his make dinosaurs. He was making the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. And I saw him do that, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is so cool. So I saw him do that, and that just blew my mind. But it wasn't like he used masking tape and he covered it with epoxy resin, milliput. And so when he did that, I was like, okay, this is such a cool thing he did. And I said, okay, well, you know, because it was the in-between stage. This is not even the stage of what he was at. He was kind of just making this, and he covered it up with masking tape and continued on. Would cover it with milliput, and as it hardened, he made it into a structure. But me, I was like, oh my goodness, I like the whole masking tape thing, because for all my life, I've always made stuff, and I never actually used masking tape. It was always one of those things where I used, you know, cardboard, paper mache, no, paper mache. I used cardboard, I used Legos, I used even this thing called Instamorph, and Instamorph is also a really cool thing as well. If you get a chance to Instamorph, look them up, they're really good. It's like moldable plastic, you know? And so you can make really cool things with Instamorph that are like durable. But the only problem with it is that it's you can't really put it into the sun. But this guy here, this guy can go in the sun, kind of go sit in your car, and he'll be there for like, you know, forever. So we actually do more stuff to make them last even longer, because what happens, like, you know, it's like a paper, and if you don't coat it with something, it becomes brittle. Okay, so it becomes brittle. So if you ever come to our night markets and you get a masking tape creature, you get one without the tape, without the paints and stuff like that. It's a lot more brittle than if you want to get one that's actually done. Like, for example, like this guy here, he is not brittle. Okay, he's been painted, he's been sealed, he has a whole lot of things to him. So he's like fully, like, you know, ready to go. You know, in terms of, like, you know, see on the car, he'll be there forever. But so he's not brittle. But if you leave him like this, it becomes brittle in terms of, like, you know, the moisture in the paper gets dried out and becomes, like, you know, because I mean, masking tape is paper. It really is. It's paper, and it's latex. So you have that there. So here you have this. This is the So the thing is, that the reason why I'm doing this way is I want to show you that I'm actually doing this. I'm not like copying from somebody, and, you know, I'm just not even looking at it. I'm just kind of like, you know, just letting it flow from my fingers. But for the most part, I'm just kind of focusing on it. But definitely ask me a question. If you guys want to ask me a question, go ahead, feel free. I'd love to answer some of your questions right now. And any questions deemed appropriate to be asked, I will try my best to answer. And so that's something there. So this is like Allosaurus. See, the thing is, when we went to the Ark in 2020, we went to see Noah's Ark over in Kentucky, because that place is huge, right? And it was like we went there, and there was also not that many people because something was going on in the world, and so we decided to go cross country, and we did. We actually went cross country as far as we could, and we were able to see some creatures. And there's a dinosaur there called Ebenezer. Now, what's cool about this was, like, the story is that I was there, and I made a dinosaur, right? And I gave it to one of the workers, and she was so happy that I made her this dinosaur that she went and bought me a keychain. You know, she went into the store and bought me a keychain, and it was an Allosaurus head of the Ebenezer skull. So that was, like, really cool for me, because I was like, oh my word, that's so cool. So there's an Ebenezer skull that they have at the Creation Museum, right? And then so she bought that for me, and then we went to the Ark the next day, and then Noah's Ark the next day, and the Ark was so cool because they built it to scale, so it was actually built to the size and scale of, you know, of what the Ark was in the Bible, you know. And so with that, it was one of those things where, you know, I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was such a good time. We had such a good time going to the Ark, and a good time to spend time with the family, and it was great. And the car worked and everything done too. We had no problems. We were able to go all the way out there, all the way back. And the car's still working. And so, but for the most part, though, it was one of those things. Was a good family trip. We did many family trips during 2020. There was nobody on the roads. There was nobody traveling. Everybody was kind of inside their house. So that made it a good time to travel. Believe it or not, even everybody was afraid of the thing, of what was going on in the world. So for the most part, though, this is like this. I made one. I made one for a lady, and she bought me a keychain. Then we went to the Ark, and in the Ark I made another Allosaurus, and I had it in the Ark. So I have it on my Macari page, the dinosaur that I have there that I can actually recreate. So this one I can actually recreate for you, and this is a recreation of that. So the Allosaurus have crests over their heads. Allosaurus has a crest over his heads. So I'm gonna make a little eyeball crest right here, right like that, and then so it's kind of like a right there, like this, like that. So you have like this. This is where it is. Just gonna hold it steady for a little bit so you can see, like that. And all I'm doing is using masking tape. Okay, so just masking tape. It's very, very simplistic, very, very therapeutic. It's very cool. So there, I'm gonna make some eye sockets for it, right there. I'm gonna reinforce it with the tape. Or the track 13 on the track. When it gets to track 26, we will be done. All the tracks are about like a minute long, so actually the last two songs are about a minute long. We're gonna get through the songs really quick, and then I'll be done. So here goes this. We did this tonight. This is going to be our third night market coming up in the Queens Night Market, International Night Market. If you get a chance to look into that, if you're in the Queens area, in Queens, New York, in Manhattan, or the five boroughs, definitely come see us. We'll be there, Lord willing, and be able to see some of our cool artworks. We have a whole bunch of things. We have gremlins, and we have people, and we have items, and we have movie monsters. I made the Alien Queen once, and that was really cool. That was really cool. I made it, and as soon as I put it out there, somebody came in and bought it. Like I gotta have that, so they bought it. And I made the Predator too. I made Predator sculptures as well. And that's where it's really cool because it's like, it has it where it's like, you can make all kind of cool stuff. So here you have the eye sockets and the crests. Now there's a way you can make the eye sockets and the crest differently. Now it all comes down to like at this point how you want to do it. You can make the teeth. How I've been doing the teeth lately is like I've actually been, instead of like making the teeth with like actually jagged teeth, I just been drawing teeth. So for example, let me show you. This one is everything doesn't fall on me. How do you call it here? This one here is a Carnotaur. It's one of two. So here's a Carnotaur, and so this is, thank you so much. And so what happens, like this is a Carnotaur, and here it's like, I just drew his teeth on. I just made it like that, and then after I painted him. So that's a painted one. This is Allosaurus unpainted. So you have that there. This is a Carnotaur. No, I'm a Carnotaur. Okay, so that's one. And I gave him some googly eyes. I thought, let me just give googly eyes, so I can make his eyes just kind of like googly, so kind of like that way. And I thought, you know what, why not? Why not? So, and also his arms are not the scale like the ones in the dinosaur museum. I didn't like the way his arms were so small, but he does have the 4 fingers. Just know that. Okay. All right, cool. So here's Allosaurus. Allosaurus has the 3 fingers, and I'm just finishing up the details on that. So I'm thinking maybe I might just give a more detailed jaw line for it, because you have the jaw line, and what happens is that you can actually see. I'm gonna bulk up his mouth a little bit. Then I'm gonna give him some a little jaw. So his jaw is like very. Can't see on that side, but here it's gonna give him his jaw like a very cool dinosaur jaw. All right, so I'm gonna hold it steady because I know I'm going really fast here. But let me just see. Let's show this right. Like this, and I'm just gonna put this right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and form it up. All right, and then form up his bottom jaw. So that way on that side, so you have a little jaw. So like, so there's that. Then you have this one. Okay, and I'm gonna have the other side. 25. We're up to track 14. Here too, so you have that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of... the one I thought was cool, this dinosaur from the Valley of Guanji. This one, the Lost Valley of Guanji. That was an Allosaurus, my friend. That was a beautiful Allosaurus. It was like a purple Allosaurus. And so, I watched that with the kids. And they liked it, I think. Did you guys like that movie? No? We didn't like that movie? Okay, well, they didn't like that movie. Okay, so I liked that movie. It was stop motion, and poor thing got burned in a church. They burned the church down on it. I was like, man, that's just rough. I got rid of it. So that's how you do it. Anyway, so for the most part, here's like this here with the jawline, and here's the thing. So I'm gonna just kind of bend this thumb a little bit so that way it looks like a little bit much better. So you have the thumb like that, and you have the hands like this. And so this is one of those things where, as you're doing this, you just figure out what you're gonna do as you're doing it, as you're making it. So you're kind of figuring out and trying to paste, and you can actually turn it some because like it's not like what do you call that thing? It's not like clay, Well, it's kind of like clay, but it's not like clay in terms of like it's not messy. So you just got to be able to know what you're gonna do before you do it, and that's pretty cool. So for the most part, though, this is something I've been doing for some time now, and I started back in 2019. I learned this from Marcos Mix. I saw how he did with a couple of things, and then after that, I just took it as an idea. He didn't stop on the masking tape level. Masking tape was just an in between step. I stayed at the masking tape level because I find that it's so much cooler to have a masking tape thing that's actually can bend, and it can also mass produce it quicker than you have if you do like a full sculpt. Like for example, to do this doesn't take me that long. I mean, it depends on what you do with it, but then when you go to the painting stage is the hard stage where you have to really think about what you're trying to do. Because if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't have an idea what you're trying to do, what ends up happening is that you could mess it up. Then you got to put a whole other layer on top of it just to deal with the paint you just messed up. So, but again, this is ready for if a person wants to buy it, or if you, for example, I did a lot of these where I was just sitting in the doctor's office because I had gotten injured in my shoulder, and I had pretty much my face, my shoulder. I had a scooter accident, and the person didn't break anything, but it got really injured in terms of like soft tissue damage. And so anyway, what happened was I would sit in the waiting room, and I would ask a person next to me and says, "Hey, listen, I can make anything in masking tape," and said, "Give me an idea." And they say, "Okay, can you make a dog?" And I say, "A dog, I can make a dog." So, "Can you make a cat?" Yeah. And then so as I said before, and so I can make it really quickly. So here's like for example, here's like a little crow. Like, so here's a little crow that I made in masking tape. See? And so I didn't put any eyes on him, but see, it's like here's what do you call it? They're not. I mean, same size wise. It's like this is the crow compared to this is the Allosaurus. And so these go for, these are really cool things you can have that you can, you can come and purchase at our store, or you can put a request and I can make one for you. And I can ship it to you. Shipping, I mean, because it's like so lightweight and durable, it holds the shape. It can ship very easily. It's not too expensive. Anyway, so we have many of our stuff all over the world. We actually have some of our things in New Zealand. We actually have there's a collection. There was a lady who she asked me if I could make one for her sister, and her sister showed me some of her sister's drawings. And her sister's drawings is she's like a famous artist in New Zealand, and so she gave me some of her works to show. And if you look on my Instagram, you can see the ones I have. My Instagram information is a One Life Must Art. So you go Instagram.com/one LIFE must art. One Life Must Art. Right? If you go there, you can see some of the designs that were out there that we did. When I did that, it was so cool because the reaction was great. I just completely appreciated the reaction. So with that, I was like, you know what, it's so cool. Another one we have another one in Australia. A friend, he's turned like 80 something years old, and every picture he had looked like he was Papa Smurf. So what we did was that we surprised him with a special gift, to Australia, and he was of a Papa Smurf. So he took that and he started bringing it all over the place. He started putting it on different on buildings and things like that, and walking around with it. And I was like, okay, that's so cool. So I really just enjoy this art, and I enjoy making this stuff because it's one of those things where when you make anything, it's from your heart. And so that's pretty much we're almost at the end of the soundtrack here. So with this end of the soundtrack, it's going to be like I'm gonna stop and call it a night. But before that, I just want to say if anybody have any questions, please feel free to ask me any questions right now. I'd love to just take a couple of questions before when the songs come to an end. And then just hang on for a few more minutes if you have any more questions or things like that in the chat. All right, so this is when I thank you so much for this because it's like I enjoy making art and I enjoy just having art and times with my family as well. So this is a blessing for me as well as the time to be able to have something therapeutic that I can make this in this world that that I made myself. So yesterday, we started with just a basic tape and then we turned it today into an Allosaurus. So you have an Allosaurus that's pretty cool. I'm gonna put a claw back there. You can do so many things with this. I mean, this is not the end. This is actually the beginning in terms of things you can do. Because, I mean, like what Marcos makes, what he does with his is that he actually goes on and does epoxy resin and all that. And then he keeps going with it. And then he turns it into molds and then, turns it into, like, more creatures, which I'm thinking is so cool. He has a whole line of thing called rubber sources and stuff. And so I think that's great. But for me, I just like, okay, let me just make the masking tape stuff and see how that goes. And then so we got to level up we did level up and different things that were like, like again, I showed you like this one. This is the Diplocallis, Diplocallis, and then I have another Diplocallis over here. This is another Diplocallis right here. This one is a red Diplocallis, twin tail Diplocallis that I've made, and so he's got the eyes too. So that happens like that. So for the most part, though, we have that, and this is what we do. And so with that, the song has ended. And so the song has ended. That signifies for me to say thank you for listening. And I might work out again some more on this a little bit more tomorrow, but I have to go drive DoorDash. So I'm just, just getting ready for that and go get ready for that because it's Friday night and it's 7 o'clock. And I'm going to go out by about maybe 7:30 and be out for a while. All right, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching. God bless you. And again, if you have anything you'd like to ask me, anything you'd like to ask me in the chat, just want to press the chat button to see if there's anything. And, just pretty much just want to say thank you so much for that, And so, all right, so I'm going to say God bless you. Thank you for watching. And feel free to write me a message. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please go ahead if you have any more any ideas you want for me to make on live that I can do within about 25 minutes or so. I can do that. So I want to say thank you so much. God bless you. Please look into the whole thing with Camp Constitution. Look it up online, campconstitution.net, if you want to find more information about that, how you can attend this year. You might see us as well. And it's pretty cool. It's a very cool place up in New Hampshire. So Camp Constitution, this is Allosaurus. This is a Diplocallis. This is a Diplocallis. And we make masking tape creatures. All right, so God bless you. Thank you so much for watching my channel tonight. And I wish you all the best. Have a good night. All right, so peace and God bless. Bye. Why should I freeze up and not work to escape? Watch. Of course.